Hi, friends. Oh my goodness, you arrived at the exact time I needed your help. Oh, thank you for coming. You know what? Today I'm having a problem. See, I have two pairs of shoes that I absolutely love and adore. They both fit my feet perfectly. I mean, they're so comfortable. But I will say the pink ones are so fancy. They have a really high heel, and when I walk around on the floor, I go click, clack, click, clack, click, clack, and they make me stand so tall. The only bummer is that they make my legs so tall and wobbly a little bit that I have to walk kind of slow. But that's kind of okay because then you get to see the shoes as I walk by a little bit longer and see all the cool details. So I love those shoes. And the other pair of shoes I have are my blue sneakers. And I love my blue sneakers just as much because they're so comfy cozy, but also they're my what I call my fast shoes. When I put them on, I don't know what happens to my feet, but they get so fast and they want to run around and walk really fast everywhere. Do you have a pair of shoes like that? Oh, nice. I love fast feet shoes. Also, the only bummer is they're not as fancy as the pink ones. So if I'm going somewhere fancy, I can't wear those. So that's kind of a bummer. But anyway, enough about both of those shoes. See, I need your help because my dog Chip has got to go to the bathroom and we need to walk to the park so that he can do his business. All right? But I need your help deciding what shoes I should wear to the park. I have two pairs of awesome shoes, and they're both great options. So either one will work. But I think that one pair will get us to the park a little bit more efficiently. Hmm. Efficiently? Oh, you don't know what that word is? Efficiently is a very fancy word. Can you go ahead and say efficiently? Yeah, efficiently. Oh, you sound so fancy, friend. See, efficiently means getting something done in a smart, quick way so you don't waste time and energy. Okay, so getting something done in a smart, quick way so you don't waste time and energy. Okay, so I have two really good options for shoes, but which one do you think is going to get me to the park more efficiently or in a smart, quick way? The fancy shoes or the sneakers? Yes, I agree. The sneakers. Why would we choose that choice? Yeah, I already said earlier, those shoes give me fast feet, right? And Chip has to go to the bathroom pretty bad, so I gotta start scooting if I'm gonna make it in time, right? So definitely, I don't want to wear those wiggly wobbly shoes. Even though I love them, that's not the best option right now if I want to do it efficiently. Well, thank you so much, friend. Actually, this kind of goes along with our learning goal for today because our learning goal for today says I can subtract efficiently by counting on or counting back. And see, math is super fun because you can solve problems in different ways. And sometimes you have options, and you just have to figure out which option is going to be the best for that problem. So, when we're talking about subtracting, we can count back, and we'll definitely get to the answer. And we can also count on, and we'll also definitely get to the answer. But today we're going to look at some problems and we're going to try to figure out when is it more efficient to count back when we subtract or when is it more efficient to count on when we subtract. Let's look at a problem. Okay, so if I have this number sentence, 8 minus 6 equals something. Why is there an empty box right there, friend? Yes, that's the unknown. I don't know what that part is yet, right? But I do know we have 8 of something, and then part of that is 6, and then if we take away part of that, we take away 6, and then we'll have something left over, the other part. Okay, so we're going to get on our number path, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to count back. Because remember, we're going to look for the way to do it the most efficiently. So, are you ready? All right, when we count back, we're going to start at the total, and then we're going to count back the part that we see. So we're going to count back what number? Yeah, 6. All right, here we go. Let's count back 6. And will you count with me? Oh, thank you. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. And where we end is our other part. So what's our other part? Perfect. It's 2. Okay. Hey, are we really good at counting back? Yeah, we did an awesome job. We're so good. All right, counting back was good. Now we have to really consider or evaluate, is this the most efficient way to solve this problem? I don't know. Should we compare it to counting on? Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so for counting on, we're going to switch things up a little bit. So our problem's still going to be 8 minus 6 equals something. And this time we're going to start at 8. But when we count on, we're going to go to the part that we know, and we're going to count on until we get to the total. So you're ready? So we're going to say 6, and then we'll count on. When we get to 8, we're going to stop. All right, here we go. Do it with me, please. 6, 7, 8. Stop. Okay, now we're at 8. All right, so how many hops do we have to do that time? Only 2? Okay, all right. I'm noticing something. Are you noticing something? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, when we had 8 minus 6 equals something, we counted back and we counted on. Remember, we found the answer both different ways, but we need to figure out which one's the most efficient. And I'm noticing something. Are you? Can you go ahead and press pause and talk with a buddy? Talk to them about which one you think is the most efficient or fast or like quick, smart way to be able to solve this problem. All right, press play when you're ready. Okay, what did you decide, friends? Which one's the most efficient, to count back or to count on? Yeah, for this problem, counting on was the most efficient. Why do you think that is? Yeah, we only had to do 2 little hops, right? 2 little hops is way better than 6 hops. That took us forever. All right, okay. See what I mean by having different options, but trying to figure out which one you can do that will help you to subtract the most efficiently? For this problem, it was counting on. All right, do you think that that's always true, that counting on is always the best strategy? Oh, I don't know. Let's try another problem and see what we see. Okay, so for this one, we have 12 minus 2, and we're going to start with counting back. Okay, so when we count back, we're going to start with which number? You got it. We're going to start with 12. That's the total amount. And we're going to count back 2. So we're just going to hop 2 backwards. Ready? You count with me? 1, 2. All right. We got to our answer so fast. What was it? Yes, it's 10. Okay. I'm feeling like this was a pretty efficient way to solve this problem. Do you agree? All right. But we're going to compare. So let's go ahead and now let's count on and see what happens. All right. When we have count on, our goal is to get to the total, and we're going to count on from the part that we know. So we'll say 2, and we'll count on until we get to 12. Can you count on with me? All right, here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ooh, that was a lot of hopping, right? Now we have to count our hops. Can you count with me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 is our missing part. Well, I am noticing something right away about what is the most efficient. When I had 12 minus 2, we counted back and we also counted on. Press pause and talk with a buddy. Which one do you think was the most efficient way to solve this problem? Press play when you're ready to talk about it. Okay, friend, what did you decide? Oh my goodness, yes, I agree. I think for this subtraction problem, counting back was the most efficient way to solve it. Why is that? Yeah, because we only had to hop back 2. On the other one we were counting on, we had to hop up 10. That is a big difference. Do you agree? Yeah. I wonder if we look at these 2 problems, if there's something we can notice. Why was one better to count on and one was better to count back? Is anything popping out to you? You know what? I bet that it has to do with the totals that we start with and the part that we know. What do you notice about the 6 compared to the 8? And what do you notice about the 2 compared to the 12? Can you press pause and talk with a buddy? What are you noticing about the comparing the totals and the parts and the amount of work we had to do in each of these problems? What do you think? Press pause, talk with a buddy, see if you can figure it out, and then press play. Okay, I can show you. Sorry, that was my phone. I can show you what I noticed. I noticed that when we had a problem like 8 minus 6, that the part that we knew was awfully close to the total amount, right? So I think we could say that that you're going to count on when the part you know is close to the total. So 6 is really close to 8. So I think if we count on, that's going to be the most efficient way. So when the part is close to the total, we're going to count on. Now for this one, I notice, well, 2 is not close to 12, is it? Mm-mm. So, I think when the part we know is really small compared to the total, I think maybe counting back is going to be the strategy we should use. So we could say, you're going to, oopsie, what did I click? I clicked the wrong button. So you could say, we're going to count back when the part you know is small compared to the total. Just like 2 is really small compared to 12, right? Okay, let's test this out. All right, so if we have 8 minus 10, we need to make a choice. Are we going to count on or are we going to count back? Press pause, talk with a buddy. What do you think you're going to do? Remember, look really carefully at the total amount and the part that we know, and which strategy do you think is going to be the most efficient? Press pause while you figure it out. Press play when you're ready. Okay, did you make a choice? All right, I chose to count on because remember we said when you count on when the part you know is really close to the total amount. And you know what? I want to use a different strategy this time, so I think I'm going to use my counting sticks. Can you wiggle your counting sticks out so that they can you can do this problem with me? Are you ready? Okay, so when you count on using your counting sticks, we don't have to say the part we know. We already know it, so we just got to think it. So everybody think 8, 8. Okay, and then we're going to put up a finger and count on until 10, and then when we get to 10, the total amount, we're going to stop. So you ready? All right, so get your counting sticks ready. Here we go. We're going to say 8, 8. Here we go. We're going to put a finger up every time we count on. 8, 9, 10. Stop. Okay, so we already got to 10 so fast. All we have to do now is count the fingers. 1, 2. So our missing part is what, friend? Yes, it's 2. Awesome job. Now, we chose to count on, but what would have happened if we counted back? Ooh, I wonder. I want you to go ahead and press pause, and with a buddy, I want you to try to count back this time. All right, so we can see was our counting on, which we guessed was going to be more efficient, was it really more efficient? Go ahead, press pause, try to count back using your counting sticks, and then press play to check yourself. Okay, that was a lot of work, right, friends? Yeah, we chose correctly the first time. Counting on was definitely the way to go. Because when I count back, well, remember we said it's going to be more efficient to count on when this part is closer to the total amount because look at how inefficient or not efficient at all this one was. So for this, we're going to think the total amount. And then we have to put up our 8 counting sticks. And then as we put them down, we're going to count back. So here we go. So we're going to say 10, and then we're going to use our counting sticks to count back. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh my goodness, all that counting on our counting sticks. We had to count back 8, which is a lot. That's definitely not more efficient than counting on was for this problem, right? Okay, well, our learning goal for today says I can subtract efficiently by counting on or counting back. And counting on and counting back are great options for solving a subtraction problem. But when you're talking about what's most efficient or what's the smartest, quickest way to do it so you don't waste time and energy, well, we really need to think about the total amount we know and the part that we know and what the difference that would be in doing the good work. All right, friends, good luck. Talk to you next time.